Would you please remain standing for the playing of our national anthem? I would like to invite Daniel Hamill to the stage, please.
Good afternoon to all the teachers, parents, relatives, and other loved ones, and a special welcome to the Woodward-Granger class of 2021. When I moved to Iowa and started school at Woodward-Granger this year, I did not know what to expect. I was cautious of what was to come and what it would be like to start at a new school my senior year. Fortunately, I was met with an exceptionally warm welcome. It was filled with love, care, and happiness. Only the kind of welcome that a community like this could give. And this is the same kind of welcome that I would like to give all of you here today as we are gathered to celebrate the end of an era for many of us. First, to the parents that have raised us for the last 18 years or so, we want to say that we are more than thankful for all of your sacrifices, even if we don't always show it. And to the other family members that may have traveled to be here or live just 5 minutes away, we want to say thank you for joining us on our big day, and we're happy to have you here. To the teachers that have led us to this point and guided us on the right path, as much as they could, thank you. And to all the other friends and loved ones that are here today, we are thankful for all that you have done and thankful that you have been by our side throughout all these years. Today is the start of the next chapter of our lives, and we could not be happier to be sharing it with you here today. If I could give the class of 2021 one message about today, it would be to enjoy it. This is something that we've all worked so hard for since we were little, and today is the day that it finally comes to a close. Experience today with a sense of pride in what you and your classmates have accomplished, and leave here feeling proud today. Once again, I want to say thank you and welcome to our graduation ceremony. Please enjoy it. God bless you all and have a wonderful day.
Oh, he's tall. We have made it to the finish line. What started in August as a new and unusual way to attend high school is almost complete. You have risen to the challenges this year with style and class, and you should be proud of this accomplishment. We started with 59 seniors, and 59 seniors will graduate today. As you move into the next phase of your life, it is time for you to show gratitude for achieving this accomplishment. Simply stated, gratitude is the quality of being thankful, or the readiness to show appreciation for and to return kindness. How gratitude is expressed looks different to all people. Today I am asking each graduate to show gratitude by presenting the sunflower they are holding to the person who has helped them reach this milestone. And while we are expressing gratitude, I would like to take a moment to thank the people who helped today happen. If you are an employee of Woodward-Granger Community Schools, I ask you to stand. Thank you. Thank you, each and every one of you. Thank you. While we honor our students, I would like to take this opportunity to recognize another milestone that I feel is important. As a former social studies teacher, I am fascinated by the past while still focusing on the future. Woodward-Granger High School had its first graduating class in the 1964-1965 school year. Today, we honor 7 families who have a third generation or more graduate today. There are signs outside to indicate this accomplishment. I would like to read those names, and I ask the graduate to stand until I am done with your family. Garrett Burkhart. Father Chris Burkhart, class of 1988. Grandmother Nadine Tarr, class of 1948. Kaden Fusen. Adrian Fusen, class of 2003, his mother. His father, Justin Fusen, class of 2002. I'm sorry, it's Adrian Gibson. They weren't married beforehand, I'm sorry. Jim Gibson, his grandfather, class of 1980. Gerald Fusen, grandfather, class of 1974. Charles Fusen, his great-grandfather, class of 1952. And Dolores Schneider, great-grandmother, class of 1951. The Fusen family. Faith Keel. Her father, Scott Keel, class of 1981. Her grandfather, Harold Dean Keel, class of 1957. Great-grandmother, Bernita Siglin Keel, class of 1934. And her great-great-grandfather, Joshua Siglin, class of 1911. The Keel family. Gabriel Lemasters. His mother, Megan Story, class of 2001. His grandmother, Melody Stump Story, class of 1980. And his grandfather, Michael Story, class of 1978. The Lemaster family. Jared Manning. His mother, Jennifer Prohl Manning, class of 1988. His grandmother, Nancy Finestead Prohl, class of 1961. His great-grandmother, Lenora Riki Finestead, class of 1939. And his great-grandfather, Lowell Finestead, class of 1937. The Manning family. The Miller family. Michael Miller. His father, Andy Miller, class of 2000, and his grandfather, Bob Miller, class of 1976, the Miller family. Ava Peterson, the Peterson family. Shannon Ramsey Peterson, class of 1989, her mother. Her grandmother, Janice Grice Ramsey, class of 1964. Her grandfather, Mike Ramsey, class of 1963. Her great-grandmother, Martha Vaughn Kennedy, class of 1942. Her great-grandmother, Ruth Vernon Ramsey, class of 1939, and her great-grandfather, Howard Ramsey, class of 1939, the Peterson family. The next recognition I would like to give are for students wearing gold cords. These are individuals who finished the top 15% of their class. When I read your name, please stand, face the audience, and remain standing until I've read all the names. Kurt Kraus, Daniel Hamill, Faith Keel, Trey Leto, Ava Peterson, Ellen Polich, Olivia Suss, and Emily Truitt, your top 15%. The Silver Cord program is designed to encourage community service and volunteerism. Students must accumulate 140 hours of volunteer work during their 4 years in high school to be eligible for this award. This year, 3 seniors have reached this accomplishment and are wearing a silver cord. Please stand when I read your name. Faith Keel, Ava Peterson, and Emily Truitt. Being inducted into the National Honor Society is one of the highest honors a student can earn. Students must meet stringent academic, involvement, service, and character requirements. The following students have been inducted to Woodward-Granger's National Honor Society. Please stand when I read your name and face the crowd. Star Clausen, Kurt Kraus, Daniel Hamill, Faith Keel, Trey Leto, Ava Peterson, Olivia Suss, and Emily Truitt. Congratulations. This year, we will honor 6 students who completed a certificate program through Des Moines Area Community College. This accomplishment is signified with a blue and white cord. Please stand when I read your name and remain standing until all the names have been read. In the Certified Nursing Assistant Program, Kenzie Carrick, Caitlin Postian, and Madison Vermoss. In the Emergency Medical Technician Program, Logan Roll. And in the Welding Program, Gabe Lemasters and Colby Tagg. Well done, well done. The last 2 awards I would like to give is I would like to present the class of 2021 salutatorian, and that is Kurt Kraus. The class of 2021 valedictorian, Daniel Hamill. Now I would like to invite Class President Faith Keel to the podium.
Thank you, Mr. Boley. Good afternoon, students, parents, faculty, family, and friends. Class, it's not only been a crazy year, but a long 12 years in school. We finally met the stage in our lives where we are graduating. We've gone through all the tests, homework assignments, activities, and even the crazy COVID protocols, to being able to be here in our caps and gowns, moments away from walking across this stage to receive our diplomas and graduate high school. It is surreal to think that just 4 years ago, we were walking in here as freshmen, scared of what high school was going to bring, and the same coming into middle school and even kindergarten. Now we're at the point where we're faced with a new path to walk on, the real world. As we began our journey to school, it started off with those kindergarten days where we had no worries in the world except who we were going to play with at recess and what was going to be for snack that day. We weren't worried about the future, and whenever someone asked what we wanted to be when we grew up, it ranged from a chef to a princess to even an NFL player. We had our hopes and dreams set pretty high back then, but never thought of anything past those hopes and dreams. As we progressed throughout those elementary years, we started to learn that the path we were following was getting to be a little harder as we started to further develop our knowledge. But the countdown to recess every day was still our top priority. We still had limited worries other than just being kids. Then we hit middle school, where we got our first glimpse of what high school was going to be like. We all came in as the scrawny little sixth graders with the big binders, thinking we were the coolest people in the world. We were all working hard to get those good grades in middle school in order to go on the citizenship trips to the Cubs game or the rec center. We had no true worries. That was until we hit high school. Freshman year in high school, we all got a glimpse of reality as we got hit with that big question again of what do you want to be when you grow up? But this time, the question changed to what do you want to do for the rest of your life? This was when we first started to look and even think about the future, as we all had no worries what our future was going to look like. As the years progressed into sophomore and junior year, we weren't truly worried about all this because we knew, oh, that's 2 years away, oh, that's a year away, I don't have to worry about any of that. Then, senior year hit, and we realized we had 9 months to figure out what we wanted to do with our lives. Some of the plans we thought we had freshman year have completely changed, and we're going on paths none of us ever thought we would. We can think back to the times when we said, I can't wait to be a freshman, I wish I was a sophomore or junior, I wish I was a senior. But now we hit the point where there's no more wishing for the next year. Senior year has come, and our wishing has changed as we experience many lasts that we'll never get back, but we'll also never forget. The last first day of high school, last first practice, last home game, last school activity, last time on the court, field, or stage, last time walking the halls. These lasts have turned our wishes from those previous times into wishing we could just have 5 more minutes in the gym, on the field, or on the stage. Wishing we could be part of that team for just a few more minutes. Wishing we could walk those halls one last time. We hit the point where there's no more wishing for the next year. We're at the point in our lives where once we walk out of those doors, many of you will never set foot in this building again. We'll be making a new life for ourselves, and in 5, 10, 20, maybe even 30 years, think back on the good old days of high school. Soon this whole experience we've been going through will just be a memory to all of us. We've all come a long way, and now we're all going our separate ways from going to college, universities, enlisting, and entering the workforce. We've all come a long way from those first days in kindergarten. We've made it through the first chapter in our lives, and the story continues after today as we start those next chapters. As I come to a close, I want to remind you all that life is a journey, not a destination. We have started the beginning stages of the journey and have so much more yet to come. Thank you all the students, staff, and parents who have made these past 4 years possible. And congratulations, guys. We finally made it.
Each year, the graduating class selects a staff member they would like to speak. I would like to introduce Mrs. Mindy Buck.
Thank you, Mr. Boley. Parents, family, friends, thank you for creating and raising these amazing young people in front of us today. I and my colleagues are very blessed to have been able to teach, coach, advise, and watch them grow into the humans that they are today. Most importantly, though, seniors, thank you for the honor of speaking to you on your last official day at Woodward-Granger High School. You're heading out into the world, and as with any new journey, it can be scary. I know some of you are worried about college in the fall. Some of you are concerned about finding a job after graduation, and there's probably one or two of you that are really worried that you're actually going to get a diploma in about the next half an hour. And I don't know. No, I'm kidding. I've given a few speeches here over the last 17 years at Woodward-Granger, but each speech that I've written has been from my heart. I try to make them meaningful. I always cry. Maybe memorable, but they're always honest and sincere. So before you head out into the big world, I want to share a few life lessons that I have learned from my half a century plus 1 year time on this planet. First, embrace things you don't want to do, but you have to do them. There are many, many things that we don't want to do, but we have to do them because whether it's the law, and I found out speed limits are not suggestions, policies, or cultural norms. For example, none of us liked wearing these masks over the past year. None of us liked sitting 6 feet apart from each other, not being able to see family and friends, not being able to attend concerts, games, and travel. But we had to do it. We all did what was asked of us, and some of us were very creative on how we accepted that. For me, I chose to accumulate a mass amount of masks to match my outfit every single day to school. I had to have a little bit of fun, might as well. I embraced wearing the mask. And like many other tasks or responsibilities I don't like to do, but I have to do them because that's life. But I try to approach them with a positive attitude and find a little bit of joy in it. Next, be flexible. Lao Tzu said that water is soft, it's fluid, and it's yielding. But water will wear away the rock, which is rigid and cannot yield. As a rule, whatever is fluid, soft, and yielding will always overcome what is rigid and hard. So in actuality, what is soft truly is what's strong. Our ability to effectively survive, thrive, and live our lives comes from our ability to be flexible and ride out those ups and downs in life. Your journey in life does not have to be blasting through those obstacles and knocking things down, but rather from having the faith, the resiliency, and the adaptability to cope with the harsh realities of life. Life is coming at you hard, and it's going to knock you down if you don't bend and learn to change. Accept and learn from failure. All of us fail. There is not one single person in this gym that has not failed sometime or another. But failure is actually a pretty good lesson. Every time I have failed, which is a lot, I have been challenged to overcome the disappointment, the embarrassment, my self-pity, and I try to rise above it to be a better me than I was when I failed before. I didn't just accept that I failed, though. I learned from my failures. Sometimes you have to look in the mirror and realize that it was you that got in your own way of succeeding. And if that happens, ask yourself, what do I need to do to be a better person? Sometimes the answers are not pretty, but again, that's what will show your determination and your perseverance. Work harder, study more, push your ego out of the way and see how sometimes you're your own worst enemy. Set a new goal and then you move on. Letting go, another lesson. Fear is the key fundamental emotion that holds us back. Fear of failure, of losing people, fear of success, the unknown, the fear of moving on, and the fear of change. Emotional pain is another factor that often holds us back. Although others can cause pain for us, our pain is often caused by our own actions, including our inability to set a goal and achieve it. When we experience fear or pain, we need to see it, we need to accept it, and then we need to let go of it. Letting go allows us to forgive others, but most importantly, it will allow you to forgive yourself. We must be willing to let go of fear, pain, anger, and sometimes people. It's not easy. It takes a conscious effort, and I struggle with this every single day. But when you let go, no matter how hard it is, you will be able to move on. You'll find something or someone new and discover joy. Make a difference in someone's life. Now, some of you have heard my starfish story. Pretend you haven't so I can make this point in my speech, okay? Thank you. So, there's a starfish story for those that haven't heard it. A young child's walking on the beach. There had been a terrible storm, and thousands of starfish were washed upon the shore. And the boy's walking along, picking up starfish and throwing them back in the ocean. An older person sees him, kind of watches, walks over to him, and criticizes him and says, "Kid, what are you doing? You can't save them all. What you're doing is not going to make a difference." And the young boy looks at the older gentleman, thinks, bends down, picks up another starfish, tosses it in the ocean, and said, "But it made a difference to that one." I love that starfish story. I even got a tattoo to remind me of it. Because it reminds me that just because an action is small, it does not mean that it is not worthwhile. It reminds me that when the world's problems are huge, our efforts can mean everything to one person. It also reminds me to ignore those who say I'm wasting my time. It is hard to be faced with big problems in the world. Between the news and the social media and all the junk that we hear, we can sometimes feel so powerless and overwhelmed, constantly questioning, what can we do to make the world better? I say, remember the starfish. No act of kindness, regardless of how small it might seem, is ever wasted. Every time you make a decision to be kind to other people, you make a positive impact on the world. You are impacting the world right now in your seat with what you do and the choices you make for others around you. And no matter what choice you make, extending kindness to others, it doesn't matter how small it is, it matters. And lastly, wrapping it up. Lastly, find the right person to travel through life with. Daniel and Faith both talked about the relationships they had at Woodward-Granger. Miss Holton on Thursday night spoke at the awards ceremony telling you to find your champion in life. The people we surround ourselves with will make a difference in our lives. It's not only whom we surround ourselves with, though, it's also how do we interact with those people that make the difference. It's important to avoid people who bring you down, waste your time, take you backwards, or don't care about your suffering. Sometimes you can't avoid those people, but what you can do is at a minimum you can choose to make sure that they do not weaken you. And sometimes the right person will show up in your life through a chance encounter. In life's journeys, there are many encounters. Some are planned, some are by accident, some by divine intervention. I have had amazing chance encounters, and sometimes I felt the universe knew when I needed that person and plopped them in my life just at the right time. Sometimes those encounters were negative, most of the time they were positive, but either way, those were the people and the lessons I needed to learn in my life at that time. So I know that you're heading into an uncertain world, but guys, the world's always been uncertain. By taking the first step in graduating today, you've already started building a foundation, a strong foundation. So when challenges and obstacles come your way, and they will, okay, you need to accept them, you need to learn from them, and you need to let go of the fear and the pain. And if you work hard and find the right people in your life and find joy in your life and leave yourself open every once in a while to that occasional unexpected opportunity that will come your way, you'll not only do great, but you'll make the difference in the most important person's lives, yours. So class of 2021, again, I'm very honored for giving this opportunity to speak with you today. I thank you, and I wish you nothing but the absolute best in your future that I promise will be full of failure after failure, but also a lot of successes. Congratulations.
We are now going to dim the lights for the slideshow presentation created by Emily Truitt.
Your little hands wrapped around my finger, and it's so quiet in the world tonight. Your little eyelids flutter 'cause you're dreaming, so I tuck you in, turn on your favorite night light. To you, everything's funny. You got nothing to regret. I'd give all I have, honey, if you could stay like that. Oh, darling, don't you ever grow up, don't you ever grow up, just stay this little. Oh, darling, don't you ever grow up, don't you ever grow up, it could stay this simple. I won't let nobody hurt you, won't let no one break your heart. No, no one will desert you. Just try to never grow up. And never grow up. You're in the car on the way to the movies, and you're mortified your mom's dropping you off. At 14, there's just so much you can't do, and you can't wait to move out someday and call your own shots. But don't make her drop you off around the block. Remember that she's getting older too, and don't lose the way that you dance around in your PJs getting ready for school. Oh, darling, don't you ever grow up, don't you ever grow up, just stay this little. Oh, darling, don't you ever grow up, don't you ever grow up, it could stay this simple. And no one's ever burned you, nothing's ever left you scarred. And even though you want to, just try to never grow up. Take pictures in your mind of your childhood room. Memorize what it sounded like when your dad gets home. Remember the footsteps, remember the words said, and all your little brother's favorite songs. I just realized everything I have is someday gonna be gone. So here I am in my new apartment in a big city. They just dropped me off. It's so much colder than I thought it would be, so I tucked myself in and turned my nightlight on. Wish I'd never grown up. I wish I'd never grown up. Oh, I don't wanna grow up. Wish I'd never grown up. Could still be little. Oh, I don't wanna grow up. you want to. Please try to never go. Don't you ever go. Never grow. Just never grow.
I now invite Dr. Matt Adams, Superintendent of Woodward-Granger Community School District, to the podium.
Well, parents, would you agree that's just a blink of an eye? When we saw that video, just a blink of an eye. Kanan, I want to know how you upset your mother when she submitted that picture. I'm not sure what you did, buddy. Well, good afternoon, parents, students, staff, family, friends. I'm so grateful to be here today to honor our graduating class for their tremendous accomplishments. If you're like me, you might have started the 2021 school year with a bit of trepidation, a little bit of worry, and some wonder, but also filled with excitement for the possibilities of your senior year. I hope you contemplated the wonderful opportunities that come with this special time, and I hope it was everything that you wanted it to be. Throughout your entire K-12 experience, you spent a great deal of time and attention to the 3 R's. You learned to read. At first, it was for just the enjoyment of a good book. Later, it was to seek information. You were asked to write and to journal about your thoughts and your ideas and about new learning. And you were asked to add, subtract, multiply, and what Ms. Holton tells me is one of your favorites is solve a system of equations using Gaussian elimination. You told me I was going to get something out of that. So today we're done talking about the 3 R's. I want to talk briefly about the 3 P's. The first is perfection. If this year has taught us anything, it's that there's no such thing as perfect. Perfection is really an illusion. Instead, I would challenge you to persist in the pursuit of excellence. What's the difference? When pursuing excellence, you accept failure and mistakes, and you learn from them. You heard Ms. Buck talk a lot about this today. How are you going to improve yourself if you don't learn from your mistakes? You won't. You're never going to be the best at something on your first try. I think about the band from 5th grade. I was an elementary principal from 5th grade. When you start in band to what I heard in all of the concerts in the last couple of weeks, wow, fantastic. So take a risk and fail fast. Embrace the challenges that come with your next endeavor and grow. The second P is perseverance. The ability to adapt and overcome any situation will serve you regardless of your next pursuit. Difficulties, failure, or opposition should not slow you down. Be relentless in your continued effort to achieve your goals. What you accomplish is limitless and really entirely up to you, so plan and execute. Finally, I want to talk about pride. Pride's a feeling of deep pleasure or satisfaction derived from one's own achievements. Today marks a major milestone for you. Be proud of yourself and recognize that the work and the effort that helped you get to today can help you in your next endeavor. By definition, commencement actually means a beginning or a start. Consider all the new possibilities that have opened up to you after today. Your presence in this ceremony represents years of hard work and dedication to build a strong foundation for a successful future. But I know you didn't do it alone. Students, would you join me in thanking your parents and teachers for the love, time, energy they poured into you? I'm proud of you and what you've accomplished. So it's easy for me to say, ladies and gentlemen, President Brandt, the members of the Board of Education, as Superintendent of Woodward-Granger Community Schools, I verify these students have successfully fulfilled the requirements set forth by the Woodward-Granger Board of Education and the state of Iowa. Therefore, the students seated before us today are eligible to receive their diplomas, which is symbolic of this achievement.
Cole Tanner Anderson. Dylan Michael Backey. Kaylee Joe Beggs. Devin Jack Brown. Garrett Austin Burkhart. Kenzie Lynn Carrick. Olivia Noel Clark. Star Victoria Clausen. Kurt Allen Kraus. Ashton Lynn Dawes. Walker Lane Deputy. Molly Catherine Frost. Kanan Oakley Fusen. Reese Michael Graham. Emma Sue Griner. Maggie Levon Hope Halferty. Daniel William Hamill. Sydney Anna Mae Hansen. Hunter Timothy Hurd. Worth Allen Henry. Christian Joseph Hoosman. Martin Xavier Ibarra. Christopher Robert Kammerer, Jr. Faith Dean Keel. Gabriel Allen Lee Lemasters. Zachary Cullen LaValle. Cullen. There we go. Cullen. Cullen. We got it. Cullen. That's it. Trey William Leto. Jared Patrick Manning. Callie Autumn McCoy. Jonathan David McKeever. Shayla Ann Marie McMains. Michael Charles Miller. Isabella Grace Milosevic. Jordan Richard Muller. Joseph Allen Nelson. Jarrett James Orman. Caitlin Noel Postian. Kobe Dean Peters. Ava Lee Peterson. Ellen Marie Polich. Cade Joseph Pullidge. Abigail Marie Pomren. Posey Cora Robinson. Rowan Arthur Robinson. Logan Maxwell Roll. Addison Marie Rubendahl. Jocelyn Dawn Ruland. Logan Christopher Schliemann. Trevor Allen Simmons. Michaela Irene Stone. Olivia Jude Suss. Colby Wayne Tegg. Jenna Marie Tegg. August Douglas Thielen. Emily Lee Truitt. Tyler James Truitt. Madison Leanne Vermas. Natalie Rose Weaver. Darian Elizabeth Westfall.
It is with great honor I present to you the Woodward-Granger High School Class of 2021. We ask that graduates and their families not congregate in the commons after the ceremony. Please feel free to take the signs that belong to you, your graduate, and your family.